I just had to let you know you're. I just had to let you know you're.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Hello guys. Hello Mr. Andy. Today we're going to presentation about discourse and intertextuality. Me and my friends, M. Hilmi Ashari and M. Ali Rasidin, have this presentation. It explores how language operates in context discourse and how text refers, reshape, and respond to one another intertextuality. Expect theory, examples, visual analysis, and tools you can apply to literary media and everyday text. So, what is discourse exploring in context? Discourse refers stretches of language. So, spoken or written that carry social meaning. It includes the structures, conventions, and purpose that shape how messages are produced and understood. So, key dimension: context, who, where, and why, and genre, conversation, news, and academic, and power, who controls meaning. Number one, it's context matters. Situational features, time, place, participant, shape interpretations. And number two, genre and convention. Different genres are use different structures and vocabulary to achieve goals. And number three, power and ideology. Discourse often encodes social roles, authority, and assumptions. And then, the next is we're going to talk about types of discourse. Everyday chat to formal text. So, discourse spans a spectrum: informal conversation, priorities, immediacy, and repair. Social media blends personal voice with audience performance. Like journalism aims at public information, academic discourse demands precision, evidence, and intertextual citation. Nah, each type uses distinct rhetorical strategies and expectation. There's three. Number one is casual conversation, ellipses, interruptions, shared context, like meaning emerges collaboratively. Of course, concise, multimodal, often performative, intertextual references like memes and quotes are common. And then the third one is academic discourse, argument-focused, evidence-based, explicitly intertextual, true citizen, and theory. Okay, the next slide is going to explain by my friends and Hilmi Ashari.
Okay, thank you, Nurfadria. Next slide. Introduction to intertextuality. When texts talk to each other, intertextuality describes how texts, broadly defined, refer to, echo, or transform other texts. It's not just quotation. It includes allusion, genre echoes, stylistic, mimicry, and remixing. Recognizing intertextual links reveals deeper meanings and the cultural conversation that serves interpretation. Not just quotation, allusion, and genre signal can silently carry association and expectation. Dialogue nature. Every text participates in ongoing cultural dialogue. Past and present phases collide. Next. Next, manifestation of intertextuality, allusion, parody, pastiche. Intertextuality takes many forms. Allusion, a brief reference that summons another text's meanings. Parody, playful imitation that critics are entertained by exaggeration. Pastiche, collage like blending of styles without parody, critical edgy. Its mode signal relationship and invites readers to connect prior text with the new one. For allusion, requires set cultural knowledge, create resonance with economy. Parody makes critique through imitation, highlight original convention. Pastiche combines style to create a new hybrid work, often celebratory or nostalgic. Next. The power of prior knowledge. How intertextuality shapes understanding. Reader brings memories, cultural literacy, and genre expectation to every text. Intertextual cues trigger association, emotional, ideology, or intellectual. That enrich or complicate meaning. Teaching students to identify these cues sharpens critical reading and expands interpretive strategies across media. Sema activation. Prior knowledge fills gaps and supplies context for brief references. Share cultural capital. Some intertextual links are accessible only to those with specific cultural knowledge. Misreading risk. Absent a background can lead to missed or distorted meanings. And next. Analyzing into okay.
Destroying president.
Okay, thank you. And the next one is analyzing intertextuality, practical approach and tools. Apply systematic methods. Annotate explicit reference, quotes, titles. Map implicit features, themes, motif. Compare from genus convention. Enter source text. Include adaptation. Tools include noted bubble graphs, intertextual map, comparative tables, and digital cover for finding patterns across large text sets. Number 1 is identify signals. Look for names, phrases, stylistic features, and informal mimicry. Number 2 is trace sources. Locate originals or incidents, what is being referenced or adapted. And number 3 is analyze function. Ask to what rhetorical effect does this reference serve. And number 4 is contextuality and evaluate. Consider audience, ideology, and historical moment. Next slide. Case studies, intertextuality in action. 3 compact case studies to practice analysis. Number 1 is contemporary novel that rewrites a classic myth, examine intention of roles and modern values. And number 2, a film that visually quotes a famous painting, consider framing, lighting, and symbolic transfer. Number 3, an ad that uses a literary quote, assess how prestige is borrowed to sell a product. For a literary write, recontextuals need to tackle genders, agency, or power structures. Visual quotation transports historical symbolism into contemporary narrative meaning. Commercial intertextuality leverages cultural prestige to shape brand identity and pursue audience. Next slide. Implication for communication, forging richer, nuanced message. Understanding discourse and intertextuality lets communicators craft layers message that resonates with target audience. Use intertextuality cues intentionally to evoke association, but consider accessibility. Overlens and obscure reference can exclude readers. Ethical communication balance creativity, clarity, and cultural sensitivity. Designed for our audience. Use reference your audience to recognize, provide when needed. Layered meaning, multiple contextuality, level increase, deep, symbolic, thematic, formal. And then ethical use, avoid cultural appropriation, create source and respect intellectual histories. The next slide. The next one is conclusion and Q&A. Your turn to connect the dots. Recap. Discourse shapes language and context. Contextuality creates network of meaning across text. As vertical layers and creators, practice identifying reference tracing sources and evaluating rhetorical effects. Question to explore. Which intertextual reference change your understanding of the text? How can you apply this method in your final project or research? Any questions?
Okay. I think that's all from us. The presentation about discourse and intertextuality. Hope you guys would understand what we are going to explain, and that's all for us. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.